So often, I see people talk about tarot as a way to predict the future. But did you actually know that tarot was made, at least in the last 100 years? It was made as a system of self-development and self-awareness. The Rider-Waite Tarot deck was developed over 100 years ago by Rider, the publicist, Waite, the creator and author, and Pamela Smith, the illustrator. And this deck was developed by these three members of the Order of the Golden Dawn. Order of the Golden Dawn was a Hermetic mystic organization that aimed to study and practice the laws of the metaphysics and apply it into everyday life to develop oneself. And as members of this society, they were familiar with the laws of Hermetic Kabbalah, which states that in the beginning, there were 22 pillars of energy, of different energies that help create our world, that help uphold our world and our universe. And they transfer the ideas of each of these 22 archetypes that created the world into 22 cards of the Major Arcana of their tarot deck. Think of it this way. The tarot deck consists of 78 cards, 56 of which are just normal cards with 4 suits, just like our normal playing cards. But the 22 Major Arcana cards are 22 archetypes with very distinct energies. So how can we apply the knowledge that these cards were developed for self-development into using them in our everyday life? First, we can use them in numerology. First, we can use them as a separate system of numerology that consists of not 9 numbers like usual numerology, but consists of 22 distinct numbers, distinct archetypes. So from 0 to 21, or from 1 to 22. Number 0 or number 22 is signified by the full arcana, which is the beginning and the end of the journey, both. And the 1 is the magician. And the way we can see these archetypes can be described by the hero's journey. It's not that from 0 we go to 1. It's the reverse. We go from 0, the Fool, to the World, which is a 21st Arcana, 21st card. Because first we have to be foolish to make the leap of faith, to go into the world and challenge ourselves, to eventually, from overcoming different obstacles, signified by different tarot arcanas, by different tarot cards in the Major Arcana, we will come back to becoming the magician, which is located in the first tarot card, the first Major Arcana, which is the magician. The magician is the alchemist who has learned to use all of the tools at his disposal. The magician is someone who has achieved mastery. So basically, in the tarot archetypes, we can learn the way to mastery. We can have our hero's journey to learn about ourselves, to master ourselves, to have guidance on how to overcome different obstacles in life and become the masters of our own fate, to master the laws of creation, of manifestation, of living a happy and fulfilling life. The second way of using the tarot archetypes of the Major Arcana is to use it as a numerological system. So for example, if you're born on December 5th, 1995, it's just a random number that I came up with, then you add up all of the numbers of your birth date and it equals 32. You would subtract 22 from 32 and end up with a number 10. And here we would interpret the number 10 as the Wheel of Fortune, because in the tarot archetypes, in the archetypes of the Major Arcana, the card number 10 is signified by the Wheel of Fortune Arcana. So it means that the person born on the 5th of December of 1995 would have the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. Their life, their energy, the way their energy works would be very cyclical because the Wheel of Fortune will always turn. There will be always upturns and downturns. And the key in here would be for the person to find out their cycles. How long are my cycles and what triggers my up cycle and what would trigger my down cycle? Kind of like trading. So here, once the person has mastered their cycles and understand what events triggers their up cycles, leads to their extreme luck, and what events or what occasions, what situation signifies that they're in a down cycle and what they need to do to go up, then they will have mastery over their life. Additionally, we can look at their birth date number to know more about how they can evoke these luck and how they can evoke these lucky events. in their life by activating their Wheel of Fortune. We can see that the person born on the 5th would be under the influence of the 5th arcana in the Major Arcana system, which is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is in charge of knowledge, of spreading knowledge, but also for gaining knowledge. So it means that the person born on the 5th of December of 1995 will be under the influence of the 5th energy and the 10th energy, meaning that they can apply their knowledge, their thirst of knowledge. They can spread the knowledge and activate their Wheel of Fortune. And likewise, they can learn, they can expand themselves, expand what they know in order to activate their Wheel of Fortune. So that is just a simple example of how the Major Arcana in Tarot work and how the system of 22 energies is so interesting and can be used not for divination, but for self-improvement and as a separate numerological system.